together. I was the XO and he was the S3. And then we were at Fort Stewart, Georgia, and we were in the brigade together. And then afterwards, we both went to ROTC, and he was at University of Richmond, and I was at Georgetown. And then we parted. GA. I go by GA.
I always say the wrong. It's GA, and I always say the wrong initials.
That's all right. Just think of Georgia.
GA. Oh, GA, Georgia.
There you go.
Whatever you want.
States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, accompanied by the incoming commander, Colonel Jason Garkey, and the host for today's ceremony is Major General Bradley A. Becker, Commander of the Military District of Washington, United States Army. Consisted of 4 stages: a formation of the troops, presentation and honors, the inspection you are seeing now, and a march in review. As the commander of troops escorts the reviewing official through the review, the focus is on the front. Please be seated. Here in the care of the Command Sergeant Major. Command Sergeant Major Beeson will pass the colors of the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, to Colonel Davis for the last time. Colonel Davis passes the colors to Major General Becker to relinquish his command of the regiment. Major General Becker then passes the colors to Colonel Garkey, symbolizing the assumption of command. Colonel Garkey then passes the colors back to Command Sergeant Major Beeson, again entrusting him with the care of the colors. Under the provisions of Army Regulations 600-2016, signed Jason T. Garkey, Colonel, Infantry, Command. Of yellow roses on horseback to welcome her to the regiment. Chloe Garkey, mother Sandy Garkey, mother-in-law Lucy B. Feldman, and niece Chloe Garkey are also being presented with a bouquet of roses. Colonel Garkey's son, Tyler Garkey, father, Jerry Garkey, and stepfather of Colonel Garkey's niece, Joseph Magnuson, and father-in-law, Paul Feldman, are also being presented with a regimental coin.
And with a selfless attitude that says, it's not about us, rather it's about the unknowns. More recently, Jason served as a professor of military science, was a battalion commander in 3ID, and served on the Army staff. So I want to welcome Jason, his wife Kathy, and their 2 children, Tyler and Natalie, to the Old Guard and the Military District of Washington family. Jason, I have no doubt that under your leadership, the Old Guard will continue to set the standard and to excel as the face of our Army to the nation and to the world. Again, thank you all for being here today, 1st Regiment, Old Guard.
Most unique missions. As the 81st Commander, you will lead this regiment into the future. Thank you for your friendship over the years, especially our time as young captains. You are the right commander for this very historic unit. Thank you, brother, and congrats. It has been my honor to serve
3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, Colonel Jason Garkey.
I'd like to thank Lieutenant General Mrs. Murray, Lieutenant General Huntoon, Lieutenant General Huggins, Lieutenant General Johnson, Lieutenant General Legere, civilian aides to the Secretary of the Army, our many military attachés in attendance, other general officers, Major General Mrs. Becker, Mr. Haverlack, Sergeant Major Gooden, distinguished guests, family, and friends of the Old Guard. To your front, I want to take a moment to recognize the outstanding men and women, as well as people who were here during my company command tour, and then people that I've served with throughout my entire career. And we're extremely happy to have you share this event with us. This audience is unlike any normal audience because the guest at today's ceremony represents the patchwork quilt of my life. Some of you travel halfway across the country to be here, and the crowd contains family, childhood friends, academy classmates, Tyler and Natalie. They serve as my shining light. Their love and support provide me with the fire to do the best I can do each and every day. To my parents, you raised me in a loving and supportive family and taught me success is best judged by always doing what you do best and striving to reach your max potential. And to my mother and father-in-law, thank you for being there and supporting our family, and especially being there for Kathy when harm's way pulled me away. In closing, I want to make a pledge to Sergeant Major Beeson, the leaders and soldiers of the Old Guard. I fully acknowledge that I am the newest member of your ranks. I will make every effort to continue the standards of excellence and positive command climate alive within this historic regiment. I'm a member of the Army's oldest active infantry regiment. I will strive to uphold the honor, values, and tradition of those who came before me. I will never forget my responsibilities to my fellow soldiers, myself, and my country. I am an Old Guard soldier. God bless this regiment, our Grand Army, and the United States of America. America's regiment, the Old Guard.
That we're out at Brayfield today. This really is a special organization, and you know, it's not just the people who are here right now, but I mean, I think the count was up to about 9 folks that came back that I was actually here with as a lieutenant, and just over time. And all these folks have continued to do great things and go to other places in the Army. Master Sergeant Retired Marvin Kelly was running around. I don't think he stepped out or not, but you know, there he is. All of a sudden shows up in my battalion. We were here together when I was a captain. Shows up in my battalion to be my operations sergeant. And next thing I know, we're off to Afghanistan. And I just kind of used to look at him and say, we're a little different from the Brayfield, aren't we? And he's just like, yes, sir.